Hello, hello, friends. Welcome back to the Blushing Mint. This is Dion. I am so happy to have you guys joining me today. I am carrying on with our new journal, and I am now essentially ready to sew in our signatures. So grab your coffee. Pardon me. Thank you for joining me, and sit back and let's see if I can make this process any more complicated than it can be. So anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for keeping my channel alive. And let's see what kind of a mess I can make out of this little tutorial here for you. So, first of all, let me apologize because the dogs are outside and my husband just came home. And Lord only knows what's going to happen. I could end up having barking all the way through this, or I could get interrupted. I don't know, but I'm going to give everything a little bit of a whirl here. So, okay, so in the last quick video, you guys saw me make my template, and then I folded it in half, and I punched along the fold here, and this is what is going to be my template for our signatures. And we already have our holes punched. Whoops. We already have our holes punched in our spine here. So I know where the signatures are going to line out in here. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little template here. I'm going to put it in the center of my book. And I got to do this in front of the camera and not in front of my face. So if you see my boobs, I'm really sorry. It is what it is. I apologize. So here is how you do it. You just line it up, center it, punch straight through, and you can see my all came right out there. That's what you want to have happen. And so I continue that straight down right through here, and again on the last one, and just like that. Now what I have to do is, I guess it helps if I have my thread, and let's see, what thread would I like to use? So this is waxed thread. I think I'm going to go with a darker one here. And then I've got to get my little needle out here. There we go. Helps if I have my supplies ready. I'm so sorry, friends. All right, so my rule of thumb for how much of the waxed thread I need is I usually do 2 times the length of my journal plus a little extra, just to be safe. So it's about probably 2.5 times for a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So this is important to know. This is for a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I do about 2.5 times the length of my journal. Now then, I just thread the twine into my journal here, or into my needle, and you start inside center. So I'm going to start in the center of my book, and I'm going to poke that needle all the way through, and I want to make sure that I still have thread hanging out the center of my signature. Then this is the first signature in my journal. That's how I want it to lay out. So I'm finding the first hole in my spine, and I'm threading that through until it gets taut. Okay, but I need to keep my end free over here as well. Now I come to the outside of my journal, and I go through the top into the inside, and pull that taut. Now, I then go through the center of my spine here, poke that through, and if I did a good job, oh, look, hallelujah, it comes right in through the center of that as well. Now I pull all of this taut, continuing to keep my center thread free. Bring it down to the bottom and out, pulling taut, and then through the bottom first hole and back through, and then I get everything lined up taut there, and then you go back through the center and back through the center. And the most important thing is that you're trying not to make sure, or you need to make sure that you do not go through the thread. You don't want to go through your thread or your journal won't pull tight. And sometimes this can be the hardest one to hit perfectly. It's a struggle sometimes. All right. And as I do this, you guys will see that I made a change in the center of this journal. And you're like, oh, it doesn't match. Just wait. Just wait. Okay. So now I have both of my threads coming out through the center. I want to make sure that they are one on each side of my thread here. And I want to pull this tight. I want this to be tight, tight. Here, as well as on the backs. I want to make sure that these are tight to the back. So you don't want to break your strings. Don't be He-Man. But you definitely want them to be fairly taut. And then I just tie a knot right over left, left over right, and there you have it. Now I'm going to leave that as it is. I'm grabbing my second signature. Okay, same thing. Oh, except I got to find my needle. Hold on, got to find my needle here. All right, so we're going 2.5 approximate lengths of our journal. Sorry, you can hear the cows. I'm sorry, you can hear the dogs. They're barking at the horses now. The horses are at the window. And so then I thread my little needle here, leaving a little bit. And our process is exactly the same. Oh, I guess it helps if I actually put the holes in it here. I got a little excited. Showing this to you guys. Okay, so line it up. Line up our template. Get our awl. And we punch through the top. Punch through the center. And maybe punch through the bottom. Okay. All right. That comes out. Now we grab our thread and we go through our center, keeping some excess on the back. And then we're going through that center hole in our spine. Okay. It's a little harder to see with this. Let's see if I can clip. Let me grab an extra clip here and see if I can clip that back for us. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can make this stay shut here a minute. And that will help you here, maybe. It might just shoot off of there too. You never know. All right, so we're through our center. And then we go, here's our needle. Get myself back in gear here. Through the top. Okay. And then through the top hole in our journal and pray that it comes out where we want it to, and lo and behold, it did. Hallelujah. Sometimes it works. And sometimes, guys, my hands just, with these needles, I just can't get through, so I just grab my trusty little pair of pliers I keep on my desk, and I pull that through, and then we're going down to the bottom. So down to the bottom here. And again, get my pliers to pull that through. And you'll see everything is loose now. I like it that way because then I can see what I'm doing. And then through the bottom in the actual spine itself. And then I start to tighten things up here. And then we've got to come through the center on our spine, making sure we don't come through the thread. And then through the center of the signature again, trying not to come through that thread. And I did come through that thread just a bit, so I'm going to back it out a second here and back it back in. There we go. Okay, now pull my needle through. And I want to show you. You see what happened here? I sewed through my thread. I want to pull that out of there, okay? Because you don't want that. If you do that, it will not tighten up. So I just pulled that back out of there. And now, one string on one side of our center string, one tail on the other side. And we tighten it up from all directions. We want it to be nice and taut as we... I am sorry. You're going to listen to my dog for a minute. I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, it's still a little loose back here. I don't want any loosey-goosey stuff. So let me try to get a hold of it. And pull a little tighter. I just determined why, guys, because I sewed through it in another location as well. So give me a second. Let me work on this. This happens. Okay. All right. Now we're there. Now we're talking right over left. Left over right. Tie a nice knot. Leave your strings release your bulldog clips, or whatever you want to call them here, and I'll show you the magic. Voila! Now, of course, I'm not going to leave it with the strings hanging out or anything like that, but that is how you sew your signatures. And you'll see, because we used our template, our signatures are flush together here. They're spaced an equal distance. If I can find the center, they're spaced an equal distance here. They look good from the bottom, same thing, equal distance all the way around. And then we have a beautiful 3-hole pamphlet stitch on our spine. So this is how you sew in the signatures for your journal. And then the next time that we get together, I will show you how I'm going to finish the centers of the signature. We're going to do some more additional decorating. I still have a lot to do on this journal, even though it feels like we've got to be getting close. There still is a lot of personalization, a lot of embellishments, and a lot of touches that still need to be done with this journal. But guess what? Hallelujah! Our signatures are in, and our journal is looking a lot more like a book than it is just a bunch of pages. So I hope that was clear as mud. I hope that you took away a little bit here, and I thank you for joining me while I got this portion of the journal put together here. And now we are really going to be making some fast progress on getting this completed. So thank you for joining me. Until the next time that we get together and craft, I hope you are well, that you stay well, continue to be well, and we'll chat again in the next video. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.